Hey everyone, it's Shaylee. Welcome back to my channel. Today we're gonna make some scrunchies. So let's get into it. Alright, let's hop right into it with some supplies that you need. You're gonna need some yarn, of course. I just use this Burnett brand. It's a weight 4 and it needs 5mm hook, so I'm using a 5mm hook. And you're gonna need 2 colors, the base color and then the outside color as well. So I'm using blue and white. You're gonna need the crochet hook, some scissors, a hair elastic. I use the Goody brand. It's just a lot more durable than a lot of other brands. And a yarn needle. Before we get crocheting, I always like to double check that my hair elastic is nice and secure. So I give it a couple good stretches. This one's good to go, so let's get started with a slip knot. You're going to make a circle and take that tail end and cut through the circle, and then you grab and pull through the middle of the circle. And then you can tighten it a little bit so that it fits better on your hook. You put the elastic on top of the hook there, and then stick the end of the slip knot onto your hook and tighten it a little. And you're gonna pull through the elastic. So you're going to have the elastic on the yarn there. So then you're gonna yarn over and you're gonna pull through that one loop on your hook. And that secures the yarn onto your elastic. So now we can start single crocheting onto your elastic. So you take your hook, you put it through the middle of the elastic, you just like that, you yarn over, you pull through back under the elastic. So now you have 2 loops on your hook. You yarn over, you pull through 1 and pull through 2. So now you have made a single crochet onto your elastic. So let's do that again. You go into the elastic, yarn over, pull back under the elastic, yarn over, and pull through both loops on your hook. So you're gonna want to make probably about 40 to 45 single crochets onto your elastic. Once you get a few going on there, you're gonna want to squish them together so you can fit more single crochets onto the elastic. So squish, squish, and so now you have more room to put single crochets. The more single crochets that you put onto the elastic, the more ruffles there are going to be on your scrunchie. Alright, so once you have all of your single crochets squished together on the elastic, we are going to slip stitch into the very first stitch that we made to join the row. So we're going to find that first stitch. It's that little, there's a little V right there, this little V right here, that you're going to insert your hook below. Make sure you catch both loops there, and then you pull yarn over, pull through, and pull through that loop on your hook, and that's a slip stitch. Now we are going to yarn over and pull through the loop on our hook, and yarn over and pull through the loop on our hook to chain 2. That's called chaining, so that's chaining 2. And right below that first chain 2 that we just made, in that little hole right there, we're going to insert our hook after yarning over, yarn over again, pull through. So we have 3 loops on our hook, yarn over again, pull through 2 loops on our hook, so we have 2 more left, and yarn over and pull through 2 again. That is our first double crochet. So yarn over, insert into the same stitch that we just went into, yarn over, pull through. So we have 3 loops on our hook, yarn over, pull through 2, yarn over, pull through 2. So that is our first little set there. Our chain 2 counts as a double crochet, and then we have 2 other double crochets into the same stitch, so a total of 3 double crochets. So then into the next stitch we're going to double crochet 3. So yarn over, pull through 2, yarn over, pull through 2, yarn over, insert your hook, yarn over, pull through, yarn over, pull through 2, yarn over, pull through 2. So that is 3 double crochets into that one stitch, that next stitch that we had right there. And we're gonna do that in every stitch all the way around our elastic. So we're gonna do 3 double crochets in each stitch. Once you have double crocheted into a few of the stitches, you're going to start to see the ruffle form, and that's exactly what you want for your scrunchie. So I will meet you back here once I've made it all the way around the scrunchie with our 3 double crochets per stitch. Alright, so we've made it all the way around. We're just gonna finish up here with the last double crochets. And in order to join, we are going to slip stitch again. We're into the chain 2 that we started with. So insert your hook and yarn over, pull through, and pull through that loop on your hook. So that's your slip stitch to join. We're now gonna grab our scissors and cut the tail, and we're gonna fasten off our first color. So you're gonna yarn over as if you were chaining. You're gonna pull through and keep pulling until it pops out the end, and you just tighten it, pull to tighten, and you have fastened off your first color. We're gonna grab our second color and make a slip knot. So make a circle, put the tail through and pull through. Tighten it a little. I'm going to insert my hook into that last stitch that we made before, but any stitch will do. You insert your hook, make sure you catch both sides of the stitch, put your new color on your hook, the slip knot, pull through, and then you're going to yarn over and pull through. We're going to chain 2. So 1, pull through again, that's a chain 2. Alright, so we're going to make a little pattern here at the top. Rather than just single crocheting in each stitch, I'm going to show you what we're going to do. I'm just going to stick the ends in the back here and crochet over them, but if that's too difficult for you, then you can just weave them in at the end. So we are going to skip a stitch, so not the first stitch, but we're going to go into the second stitch, insert your hook, yarn over, pull through, yarn over, pull through 2 to make a single crochet, and then you're going to yarn over and pull through to make a chain. And then you're not going in the first stitch, but the next stitch you're going to insert your hook, yarn over, pull through, yarn over, pull through both loops on your hook to create a single crochet, and then we're going to chain 1. We're going to skip a stitch, insert our hook, make a single crochet, chain 1, and repeat. So skip a stitch, single crochet, and chain 1. So as you can kind of see here, there's like a lace kind of look to the pattern with skipping a stitch. I love the way that it looks. I think it looks really cute. So I'll meet you back when I've gone all the way around the scrunchie. Alright, and we're going to slip stitch into our first chain space so that we can join our row. And then we're going to take our scissors and we're going to cut off the end and finish off our little scrunchie. So pull all the way through to tie off your end. And we have our scrunchie that we just need to weave in all of those ends. So let's do that next. I'm just going to take my yarn needle and pick an end to weave in. So I'm going to weave in this top white one to begin with, but you can pick any one. And we're going to weave back and forth in the same color that the end is. So because this end is white, I'm going to weave back and forth in the white sort of area so that the colors kind of stay together. Once you weave back and forth a few times so it's nice and secure, you can take your scissors and chop that end off, and there's your first end weaved in. So make sure you do that with all the other ends, and come on back. So now I'm just fixing the ruffles on the scrunchie. Sometimes they get a little wonky, so I'm just fixing them a little bit. And you have your finished scrunchie. The scrunchie is a fantastic first project, or just a project that doesn't take a whole lot of time. They're perfect for markets or little gifts for your friends or your family, for yourself. They're just super fun to make and nice and quick. I hope you make lots of scrunchies. Happy crocheting! See you next time!